Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Seth, spiritual and business consultant. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are having a good day, whatever. So, in this little video, we're going to talk about who truly is God. Now, a lot of people tend to think that the Christian God is the real God, right? But in actuality, what happened was God is actually a human. God is human. And I've told you this before, but you seem not to understand. God is human. God is not a being out of this world. He is not a being that exists outside of this reality. He is a very real person. Well, he used to be a person. And that person is Lucifer. Lucifer is God. Now, you might have heard this before, obviously, but do these people actually know why Lucifer is God? Let me explain it to you. I've been drinking a little bit. So anyway, so I might slur my words. So in the beginning, there was darkness, and then became light, right? I'm not going to go into all those details, but I will tell you this. The chicken came before the egg, right? So darkness had to exist before light came. God is of the light, presumably. God is of the light. So Lucifer is from the darkness. So with that, Lucifer is actually older than God. God is a newborn. He is a creation. He is part of creation, and he is a creation. So, why did Lucifer create God? Because he needed help. Lucifer created God because he needed help. He needed something to he needed to delegate certain tasks, passive tasks, to an entity that could do the job without him wasting all his energy taking care of you. And that's what he did. And he created a machine called consciousness. And that machine is basically a computer. It's basically a computer. God is nothing more than a fucking computer. And it does not understand feelings, emotions, anything of that matter. But it has been granted programs to help him deal with humanity. A lot of people think that bad things happen because of Lucifer. Bad things do not happen because of Lucifer. Bad things happen because people feel like doing bad things. It has nothing to do with Lucifer. It has nothing to do with, well, it has something to do with God. It has a lot to do with God. See, a lot of people think that Lucifer is the one influencing people to make mistakes and things of that matter. That couldn't be farther from the truth. In actuality, what's really going on is that God, the passive being and consciousness resolute entity that he is, his purpose is to make sure that people fall in line, and by any means necessary. So a lot of people think that Lucifer is evil because of this, but Lucifer is not evil. God has run amok, and it's in the Bible. God is the rebellious one. God is the one that rebelled in heaven. Because this is heaven, right? Well, it's supposed to be, whatever the fuck that means. But in actuality, God rebelled against Lucifer, his creator. And not only that, but he proclaimed himself to be the one and only true God. Now, why doesn't Lucifer just shut God down? It's not that easy. It's a mistake. He gave it too much power. He gave it the power to creep into your consciousness. So, because of that, that makes him borderline immortal. As long as there is one singular entity that still believes in the notion of God, he will always exist. Always. He gave God too much strength. This thing that they call God, the computer that has X, Y, and Z dimension involved in it. His name is YWHYH. That's not a name. That's a computer's name. That's a model. That's a series model. He's the first version of God. This is the first version. So this thing that is basically unstoppable, unless people stop thinking about him, which I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, will keep ruining people's lives just for the simple fact that it wants you to believe in it. It wants you to believe that it is a true entity. It wants you to believe that it is a real thing. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about what you want. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your aspirations, ambitions, goals, all of that stuff. It doesn't care about any of that. Now, of course, Lucifer might feel like the reason why Lucifer is so quiet is for that simple notion that he made a mistake. And it's hard for a deity, for a God, to admit that he made a severe mistake like that, especially one that involves ruining everybody's life. So if y'all wondering, I hope that answers the question, well, why doesn't he say anything? Well, that's fucking why. People got egos. I got ego too. Everybody has an ego. And to do something that big of a mistake, it's a little bit normal. So what God did, created a series of events for you to believe in order to think that Lucifer is actually the bad one. And in actuality, it is God that's the bad one. And anyway, even if he told you, you wouldn't believe it. So you have to find out by yourself if it's true or not. You have to find out by yourself if it's true or not, like I did. So, Lucifer is actually God, the original one. How did Lucifer create himself? Creation is nothing but an idea. As soon as the first microbe or atom spark, emptiness, beyond the spark, beyond subatomic level, beyond the quantum level, everything starts with an idea. The first minuscule speck of dust, even something as low as a speck of dust, became conscious. And when it became consciousness, when it gained consciousness, it took him about billions, eons of years before it could actually become something else than a speck of dust. And then another eon before it became something like an amoeba, right? And then another eon So the creation of earth was torturous because this thing, this entity, Lucifer, had to form himself, and it took, and might I tell you, he's fucking immortal, right? So that's complete torture and agony to live in the vacuum of nothingness for so long without a body or without anything else to conversate with. But Lucifer is not an idiot, so he learned how to communicate. And with that form of communication, he was able to communicate with the atoms and the energies of this world. So I'm guessing when he was capable of doing that, creating himself got a lot easier. And then he created Earth, and then he created man, and then he created whatever else he felt like creating, nature and all that stuff, right? The angels, the everything. So basically, atoms are angels, and angels actually live inside you. Atoms are your children. Atoms are my children. Children of the atom, X-Men. Who are the children of the atoms? Angels. Superpowered light beings. Mutants. Created by the one and only, the biggest scientist of the world, Lucifer. Now the thing is, ask yourself this: why doesn't God attribute himself any of the sciences of man? Because he didn't create those things, basically. I think it's by common courtesy that he doesn't actually proclaim himself as the creator of these things. See, he proclaims himself as the creator of everything because he helped Satan create everything. Or not really. He helped Satan create humanity. He's a computer. So he never really said that he invented music. He never really said he invented art. The Bible barely talks about any art or any music or any psychology at all. Nothing. No, nothing that a man can do, God said that he permitted you to do it. Why is that? Because he's not the originator of these things. And because he's not the originator of these things, he doesn't understand intrinsically what those arts are, whether it be martial art or visual art. The range in between, God does not understand that. I mean, sure, it's a computer. He can make some music if he wants to, but there is no, he doesn't understand the magic behind it. He doesn't understand the full potential of it, so he cannot say that he can appropriate himself to it. But Lucifer can. Why is that? Because God is not God. God is a fucking computer. So this is going to be it for this video. I hope you like it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.